In today's video, we'll be making this embellished pocket junk journal insert using elements for the mini challenge in the challenge number 1 from March. The details for that challenge are in this video, as well as all the tutorials of everything I made here. If you like that sort of thing, don't forget to hit subscribe, because that's what I do here every day on Dear Julie Julie. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, it's Julie, and I'm here with the March mini challenge in the challenge number 1. And we are going to be working with items. I'm going to be working with items for my March journal. So I've already done my pages. I'm using the Peacock kit from Dear Julie Julie, and I am using a paper kit. And I'm going to be trying to finish and use this whole paper kit through the month of March. I've gone through and separated out of all the peach pages, and I have those separate. We'll be doing a separate journal. But today we are going to be making something separate. Okay, now in my case, I will be putting it into my journal. The way the mini challenge in the challenge works is you can either make it for your March journal, or it can be made for another project. Some people aren't even actually doing the whole March big journal, but they do the mini challenge and the challenge. So we are going to be using, so you need to use a privacy envelope of some type, or an envelope of some type. I'm going to be using this privacy envelope that came with the W2s in it, okay? And then a map. So you can use any map that you have. You can get a map out of a magazine or a book, but a map. We're going to want I said a doll maker. That was the book. This is from the Reader's Digest, but you're going to want some book pages. I have this one and this one. Pattern paper, okay, or some type of tissue paper. So pattern paper of tissue paper. I'm using pattern paper. And then you're going to want a flower. You can make a flower. It can be a silk flower or whatever, but I have this one that I'm going to be using, and a sticker. And then some die cuts, or you can fussy cut out images. Okay, so this kit came with these die cuts. And then you're also going to be able to use matching paper. Okay, so from your paper pad, if you are breaking a paper pad or using up a paper pad, then you'll want to use some paper from your paper pad probably. Okay, so, and these are my extra papers. I have this that was in a stash. It's a seating chart, but it's just the piece of it. This is from the file folders for the Peacock kit that is in the Etsy shop. This is a physical kit, but I had this and I was like, oh my gosh, that's really actually quite pretty. So that is my paper there. This was on my desk. And this, I don't know where I know this was in, the original Peacock journal that I made. This fabric was used in that. And then I have some fabric if I want to use it, and lace and trim. So, but you are required to use a privacy envelope, map, book pages, pattern or tissue paper, a flower, a sticker, and then you can use other papers, and then your die cuts or fussy cut images. Okay, so one more time, you are to use your privacy envelope, a map, book pages, tissue paper, a flower, a sticker, die cut or fussy cut images. Okay, so and you are to make an embellishment or an embellished page to go into your journal with these items. or you can make at least that, and then you can also add on some other embellishments. So I'm going to start with this privacy envelope. I'm going to deconstruct it, but my deconstruction is for a different reason. I'm going to be putting it back together. Actually, if I can get this, I want to get this piece out. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece out very carefully. I'm taking the film that's over the window. Okay, so there's some of it. And now, hopefully I can get it off the bottom one too. I don't know, you can see in there. Sorry about that. But if I can do it this way and not deconstruct the envelope. Okay, so there's those. So this is just another way to use a privacy envelope. You've seen me take them apart, turn them inside out so that I could use the paper, because a privacy envelope will have so many amazing prints. And our tax appointment was yesterday, and of course the accountant kept the W-2s, and the envelope was sitting there, and I saw it and I was like, oh, I could do something with that. So he's grabbing all the envelopes and putting them in the trash, and I'm like, I'll take that one. They know me now, though. He just looks at me and smiles. Okay, so I think there's a little tiny piece left. Okay, so I want to get all of that off this top window. Okay, so there I have, it's all unstuck. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cover this, and I am going to cover it with the map. Okay, I like the blue over here where it says Cleveland. Okay, so it would have been better to deconstruct it, so we are going to deconstruct it. Sorry. Okay, so this would be better if you were like over steam or something. I'm going to cover this up anyway, so, and if this journal had any black going on in it, as like an accent, I would go ahead and turn this inside out. And actually, it came apart pretty well. I might do that. Okay, so deconstructing the envelope. And the reason I'm doing that is I need to be able to trace those. Okay. Oh, look at here we have, ooh, Washington and Baltimore. Kind of like, okay, I'm thinking maybe we might want to use all that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I measured it, turning it over, and I am going to trace around the inside of these two windows. Okay, and then I'm going to mark this. I wonder if, well, we'll mark it. I wonder if we should go, well, we've already, never mind. Okay, so there's my two windows. This is the side that I want, that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this, but I'm not going to close my fold. I'm going to go ahead and start my cut like that. Okay, so I've started the center of my little window here. And I'm going to very carefully cut around. I know, you're all shocked because I'm trying to do something in the lines. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna cut around this. And of course you could do this with just, if you have an envelope that just has a window and you just want to cover your window. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to come back, do the same thing again. And I'm on the wrong side because I want the Washington side that had all the water because it had the blue that is going to actually match this journal better. If I was doing a sunflower journal, then maybe this Ohio side with all the yellow would be a better map for me to use. And that's just because I like things to, even though it's eclectic, I still like them to kind of match. So I will try and pick a map that has some of the coordinating colors to the theme that I'm using. So there's those, and I'm going to save those because I can use those as on the embellishments. Okay, so there we go, and that is going to go right on there. And I like it very much. Okay, so now we can, okay, so I've marked this side and I need to cut it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my cutter. Have my little mark down here. And I'll save that because I've introduced a map to this now. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down onto this front page. Then I'm gonna glue it all the way up. And so I'll have map coming over onto this. I just kind of think I like that idea. So I'm going to put my glue around these two windows. So hopefully things won't get stuck in the windows that I put in the pocket, right? Okay, and then we're going to go up here. Here, around, around, and through. Okay, and then just so that it stays down, and so it stays on this crease, add the glue all around. Okay, so now we're bringing it back, and the main thing is that it is around those windows, and that it's on these edges if we can. Okay. I saw a little bit of glue there. Okay. Okay, so there's that. So I'm adding my map. Now you for the project, you get to just make anything you want that is a page for a journal or embellishments for a journal. You have to use the privacy envelope, the map, and all those things on the list. This is how I am using my, so far we've used the privacy envelope and the map. Now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to reconstruct my envelope. First, I want to make sure that my so here, we'll bring that back over. We'll close these sides up. And since we have it open, we can go ahead and get any more of the window that might be in here, just because it might catch on things, if you can. Okay, we're going to go ahead and glue our envelope, the three sides of our envelope back together. Okay, so we can go ahead and close this. Our glue needs to be on this, flap. Okay, so flap on this flap. Okay. Now we're going to let this... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut these corners down, because one of the things I know is when I go to put things in these pockets, if these corners are there, it just makes it hard to get things into these corners. And I want to make sure that these little flaps at the top are glued down. So I'm going to come over and separate, make sure that the edges of those flaps are glued down. Okay, so that gives us our awesome envelope, and I'm glad I left it to the top, because I'm going to make this into a page that is going to go into my journal, like so. Okay, and I am going to use these little places to hold. They'll hold things. Okay, so there we go. Be able to hold things into those pockets. So, but we'll be working on that in just a moment. But there is I've used the privacy envelope and the map so far. So now we have book page. Okay. And so let's see, I do have... Oh, you know what? We're going to use part of our material, our paper. Okay, so this is part of our paper. This matches, and I want to make sure I'm using the green part especially for this journal, because remember, I'll be making a second one. And also, I'm reminding you that your mini challenge and the challenge project does not have to go in your March challenge journal. If you are interested in participating with us in the March Junk Journal Challenge, the March Spring Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge, the details video is linked in the description box below, as well as at the end of this video. And we'd love to have you over there, and it's really a lot of fun. I do a challenge on my channel, my Dear Julie channel, each month. And the challenge, everyone that finishes their journal gets invited to a virtual party. In the party group is a digital kit that they get just for participating and finishing their journal and sharing their journal on their social media. And in the meantime, people are making lots of friends, learning lots of techniques. We get to see amazing, wonderful artists and how they are, you know, making their journals, and it is just, I think it's awesome. So that is the March Spring Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge. That is what we're doing this month, and you're welcome to join us. And you know, you don't have to leave the group if if you don't finish or it doesn't look like you're gonna finish. You just do the best you can. We've had several that end up finishing their journal. You know, then life happens, and they finish it the next month or the next month, and they share it. And we have some emerging YouTube channels happening on within there and within the groups, and that's been awesome too. So yeah. Okay, so and of course, if you want to participate in this mini challenge, then you do need to be a member of the mini challenge group. Okay. And here we go. I'm just adding this book paper, this book page from the Reader's Digest that I chose. This page that I chose. Okay, and that gives us a good little coverage right there. I like it. And so on this page, I was thinking about making a belly band using this piece of it. For most people, it would have been trash. So I just have to decide. I think I can use it with this and then just cover this with like book paper or something. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And then we're going to build a belly, or make a belly band. Okay. And I like to make a few embellished sets of pages like this for my journals. And especially since I'm trying to make my journals have more writing area, and then the real decorated part can be these pages. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and put this on here. Hold it down. If it's not down, then it's up. There we go. Okay, so we have this piece here that says condensed. Just gonna rip around it. Okay, that's making me crazy. This the story was from 1954. I don't know how old the book that I'm using is. Okay, we're just going to put that just like that. I'm going to pull it over so that it covers that T. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And making sure that we there we go. Okay. Okay, so we have a belly band here. And I like using a belly band on a page where you're not going to be able to write anyway. And now we'll be able to add something in that the person could go ahead and write on. And I have guest check. And there we go. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I take the bottom off of guest checks. That's just something that I do. And that's gonna not fit on there. Okay, I have this. And we can just go ahead and make a little this was on the desk. Okay, so that gives us a few things. I really like to not cover the numbers if I can. I'm going to go ahead and have this fan out kind of like a tail, because we are doing, this is a peacock journal that I'm doing, so this will kind of look like a tail. Let's turn this over. And yes, it is compromised because we cut in the middle there, but I think it'll be fine to just be on the flap here. So if you're still here, comment peacock tail. And that way I'll know that some people actually stayed on this video for a little while. Okay, so there we go. So now I've used my my book page, my map, my privacy envelope, and we need to use some tissue paper and the flower and just a couple more things here. So I'm going to go ahead and add this tissue paper right onto this page. Okay. And because I'm going to go ahead and put straight lines on here. Oh, I should have done straight lines like that. Well, we'll do grid, because then you could use those lines, because they will show through for writing. So why not, right? But I want it, because it's very, I was thinking like engineered or whatever, because of the way that a pattern works. So there you'll be able to see, possibly be able to see those grid lines. And now we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and make sure that we're down all the way to the edge. Glued down all the way to the edge. Okay, and then we'll cut off our. Ooh, that kind of looks cool. I think we'll leave that, because it'll be in the middle of a page. I don't know. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Do the wraparound. Well, I like it on the bottom. I don't really like it on the side. I'm going to do the wraparound down here. Let me see. No, I like the clean edge on the side, but I do like this wraparound down on the bottom, because it brings in that color, and I think it kind of helps to finish up that page. Okay, so here we are, and we can go ahead and I'm going to put some glue in a triangle up here, just so that we don't there we go. I love collaging. I think that's one of my favorite things to do and using, you know, put some stuff in front of me and I'll figure out how to use it. That's how we do things here at T&J Ranch. That's what we call our place here. Okay, so I have a little thing there, but I'm thinking I could use washi tape. And I have this music washi tape. I have this. We're using this in we used this in the little thing the other day. I think this is going to work really well with the peach when we do the peach, because there is some blue. You know what? We're trying to use this up. Let's go ahead and add this. And so we'll be using this in there we go. And that cleans up that top edge. Okay. I like it. And now we have these pockets, okay? And let's see. I'm going to go across right here. Okay, so our flower, we need to use our flower, and I think that our flower would be really cool as the top. Okay, I'm going to cut this. We'll do it here. I don't. Okay, I'm just cutting a. Okay. Well, I always see that and think that I'm going to be cutting there all the time. Okay, so we're going to cut this. I'm going to cut the little hole off. And then I'm going to go over, cut that, and this can become a little notebook, and so we're going to want papers for in our notebook, and yes, I'm just going to grab things that are here on my desk. That. Then we had the seating chart. Okay, so this gives us a little tiny notebook within our journal. And some extra pages. Well, I'm going to go ahead and staple this, and then I'll trim the bottom. So you want to I want to fill all my little pockets that I made, and so that's what I'm doing right here. This makes it a whole little page pocket. Okay, so that's going to be able to go in there. We need to use some of our die cuts. So let's go ahead and I'm going to use this one on here. And oh, we still have a sticker to use. But we also have, let's see, those die cuts. Okay, I like that. That way we will have used some of the die cuts, because that was part of the challenge, is to use some die cuts or some fussy cut images. So you can, I try and make these so that everybody can participate. So your map, I mean, literally you could draw a treasure map and that will count. Okay, you could go get pieces out of the map that's in your car, if you have one, or a Thomas guide, you know, just a map. We're trying to use things that are in our stash, and at the same time, I always am trying to open your mind to things that you might have around your house so that you don't have to go and purchase things, or that you could look at, you know, your trash differently. Okay, so there's that. And I'm not going to add any words yet. I might come back through the journal and add words, but that gives me a little notebook to go inside there. I have my flashcard. Here's my flashcard. Okay, so, and that is to go in this part. And so I'm not going to do a lot to that, but I do have this fabric down here. I'm going to cut a piece off the end of my fabric, and that'll give me, I can do a tab up there. Okay, and we're on map, so I'm not going to add, I was going to add map, but we're on the big map paper, so it's not a place that I really need to add map. But there we've added some fabric. We've used our privacy envelope pocket. You guys, I don't like this down here. I don't like it. I don't like that down there. That happens sometimes. Okay, so here, this is a totally different page, and I'm thinking that it needs maybe a flower from the die cut page. So in all these peach ones, I will set aside, they'll go in with the peach journal. There we go. And you know what I have? I have okay, if I put that, yeah, I'm going to put this here. Let me make sure that inside the journal, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll hang out, but it won't hang out of the journal. And I'm going to staple that and try and get one of my edges of the staple in the hole. There's that. I like it. I like it. And then we've got the flower to put on. So you can see just by adding a variety of textures and colors, and of course, if you like to distress things, you're welcome to distress these before you put them on. Once I do that, then it's like I'm committed to do that to the rest of the journal, and so I don't do a whole lot of, yeah, I'm not going to add that. You won't be able to see it. Okay, so this, I think this one is good. So now we need something for these two, and we need to decorate this here. So you know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about, I want to add an envelope. Okay. Because I like the double tuck thing, you guys. I like the double tuck thing. It is my favorite thing. And so I'm going to add a double tuck right here. So I have put my glue on the edge and across on the flap. And then I'm going to put this on the edge here. Okay. And now I'll grab out two of my green cards, because I have these. These were from my mom's stash. Okay. There's those. Then we'll decorate them. I think we'll use one of these and one of these. And this could actually be a little pocket, because why not? So I'm going to turn this into a pocket. And our little pocket will hold probably a ticket. I'm looking around my desk to see if there's any tickets, and I don't see any today. That's okay. This one can go right in the middle. Actually, I'm going to put it kind of more to the edge. Let's see if I can find something to cut out to be a stamp. I'm going to cut a piece of the map to be a stamp. And put that down. I like the side without the... Kind of like the way this kind of looks like a postcard here. Let's put our words kind of straight. Pull out my favorite stamp, which is a cancellation for a stamp. There we go. And put that in. Okay, there we go. There we go. So we've got, now we have a double tuck with a little flap over here. And So next I need something for here, something for here. We have a guest check here. I'm going to use my other type of guest check. So I have this one that can go here in this pocket. And I am, let's see, so we need to decorate this a little bit, I think. I think we can go ahead and grab some map. Put that on the top. Leave the numbers because, you know, I like the numbers. There's that. Pull it over. I think it should just pull it up. Okay. And we have, here's our other piece of fabric. So I would probably, I mean, these guest checks are so white, I would probably go ahead and distress them. Okay, so that gives me that. And, okay, so we still need something for this pocket. We have this, and what else do we have that we can use? Oh, we should have some more of that paper. Well, we have the other paper. We have map. We have map. We have, look at this. We have this. We have map. Okay, so if we go ahead and we rip our map, and then we carefully rip our map on this side. Or we can just leave it. We're going to leave it, because otherwise I'm going to end up too far in and it won't work. Okay, so we're going to add map to this front piece. So the elements of the Stash Buster, you're using those specific items, and then the other part of stash busting is using items that are like, I'm going to use things that are right around my desk, because, you know, then they'll go away, right? That's what I'm figuring. And so for the elements of the Stash Buster, and then I'm using items that are hanging around. So this is hanging around. It needs a home. And so I'm giving it a new home in this journal right here. And we'll make them long, but we'll also let it keep the short, because, you know, no sense in wasting. There we go. Now, for the top of this one, I'm thinking flower. And the flower will get put on at the same time as the papers by stapling one of the back petals down. Okay, so I'm pulling it up. There's the back petal. Staple down the back petal, as well as stapling through the little note paper. There you go. There's that page. And these are ready to go in. Okay, so we have a little, yeah, we have a little green tag, since I don't have a ticket. Put the little green tag in here, and cut a piece of the fabric. Oops. I thought I was on a fold. That's okay. We'll go like, we'll fix it, right? Maybe. Get it through, pull it through. There we go. I like to turn this one around so that you have right side and right side. Then we're going to grab that stapler, because the stapler is less bulk than tying the, okay, it turned itself around. So let's go like that. Hopefully it'll, might be able to go in from this side, huh? There we go. There we go. So we got a little tag down there. Okay. And oh, now we've got, now see, I did that, and it adds a little, it adds more to be done. Okay, so there, we're going to cut that off. And we'll just grab one of these green cards and put that inside, because we know that'll fit. And then we need to decorate the outside of this envelope. And let's see. I'm just going to put this word books right here. Maybe you can put your list of books that you've read in here, or list of books you want to read. I had to trim it down some here. Okay, and by using this old book, we are bringing in some of that, or this old book. We're bringing in some of that color. Okay, so we have that. I think I'm going to use the green striped page right here, this paper, and we'll cover this. Ooh, I should go ahead and cover the whole, because we can cover the flap. Woohoo! Okay, so we're going to use this to measure, and I think I want it to go like this. You know, my favorite pens are these Smooth, the Bic Smooth. They have a wider top. They are my favorite. Okay, so this will give me a cover, cover. I'm going to go inside this, and then I would probably come back and go ahead and rip this, but we'll see. See, and of course, remember, every time that you add paper onto paper, you're adding bulk to your journal. So, you know, you might not want to add here, like I am. I've just gone ahead and I can use the line of the paper to get my... Now, you could go ahead and do this and have another flap, and I think I'm going to. I know. Just add more stuff. But why not, right? Okay. I'm going to pull these out because I don't want to accidentally glue them. And you could go ahead and you could just glue a little here and a little here and have another flap. I don't know. What do you think about that? Yeah. We're not going to do that this time, but you could. You could just glue the edges. We'll do that in the big journal maybe. Try that. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. I'm just, any glue that goes outside, I'm just grabbing it with, balling it up, making it go away. Okay, so there is for there. There is for there. Turn it over, and now we have a page and an envelope, and we should put something here. To cover up I kind of like that. Okay, I'm going to use this to finish this pocket off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this. And I'm going to put that down. Okay, so that closes off that pocket. Make sure we can close it. Very good. Okay, so now we have this pattern piece. I'm going to cut this right now. So that gives me, look at all this stuff that is going on in this little journal that we're putting together here. I really do like the, yeah, there we go. We'll do that. Okay, I'm going to clean up the simplicity here. We'll darken that up. I like that. And then we'll bring something down here. Okay, so we're just going to go around the edge again. Okay, want to make sure we're on there. Get that arrow. It's the graphic elements of this this piece is what I wanted. The arrow and the dotted lines, as well as the color, because I think the color is going to be helpful to this journal. And we're just going to cut that off. So if you're feeling brave, I would love to see y'all do a book embellishment, like something like this for your challenge, and to help give other people ideas, because you know, sometimes when you're working on a journal and you just keep working on it and you're working on it, it doesn't feel like you get to finish anything. But if you make one of these little page inserts, to me, it kind of feels like I actually finished something. So tell me what you think. When you finish a little page journal or a little page section like this, does that make you feel accomplished? You know, because I see a lot of people that get discouraged out there, and it's like, I've been working on this and I just don't feel like I'm getting anything done. And so maybe something like this, throwing one of these in there every once in a while, and it'll feel like you got something done. And look at, I love this. I think the only thing else I need to do is I want to add something here. I guess you could write on top of that, but I'm just thinking that most people probably wouldn't. So what if I put a little fabric flip, and then you could write under it. And you know, I am trying to use up some of this fabric, so I have a lot of this. I have this is part of the 10-inch square fabric pieces that are in the Etsy shop. And so there we go. We need to cut it down a little bit. And when I add in fabric, I use fabric tack to glue it down. And my piece keeps getting smaller and smaller. Okay, and I'm going to put my fabric tack on the pattern piece, because I think it'll adhere better there. So let me know, do you think I should put the little word pieces in this journal? Or should I save all of them for the peach? I don't know. Okay, so here is my mini challenge in the challenge. Let's make sure I used everything. I used my privacy envelope. I used my map. I used some of my matching paper. I used my flower. Oh, my sticker. I didn't use my sticker. Let's use the sticker. Oh, here. I know what we'll do. So I have a sticker here. It's a round sticker that was in my stash right here. And we'll take it and we'll put it, and it'll go on both sides of this. There you go. And one more thing, I think I'll go ahead and use the circle punch. There we go. Okay. Okay. Flower sticker, book page, die cuts, or fussy cut images. Okay, so there you go, and my other papers. So I think it turned out really, really kind of cool. I am going to cut this down just a little bit. I don't like the way that's sticking out from there. And so I just want to make sure that if I cut it down, I'm not cutting off my glue. I'm not. Okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. I like that better. That goes in just like that. Okay, so I used all my elements, and we have a belly band with this. Okay, Houston, we have a little problem here. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. I don't know if you can see that, but that little sliver from where we cut it is coming up, trying to come off the page. And it's going to get stuck in the belly band. So I'm going to attach the map piece to that piece. I like the way this looks like a peacock tail. Maybe if we... I mean, it has the illusion. I know that that's what I did and what I meant. You know what I did and what I meant. And maybe the person that gets this journal will know. Okay, so I like this, using the staple to attach this here. I like this element where we went ahead and flipped that up. I like that we covered this whole envelope. I like this, and we used that grid pattern, so you could actually use those lines for writing if you wanted to, and yet it still will be covered up. We used some trash here and the piece of the map, as well as some pieces that were hanging around on my table, and I like that. I like this background up here. You do see some of the privacy envelope. That's kind of exciting. And we have a guest check here. Our map, our book pages, and we have a double tuck. You gotta make sure your glue is dry before you stick your your things in your double tuck. But the double tuck image or element is my favorite element. I love this element in a journal, using the envelope flap to hold two pieces. I think that that's really, really cool. So we have this pocket here that we've made out of our privacy envelope. Then this is our envelope that we folded over, and our paper that we folded on top of our envelope, which I think is pretty exciting. We have a place to write here. We have a place to write here. You could add more things into that little pocket. We've used this great element of the books from the book book page, and then some paper here, lined paper. And since we're using lined paper throughout, it's a great way to add, you know, some of the similar elements to your journal. I'm finding places that have a little bit of glue, you guys, and I don't want things to get stuck together. It's one thing when you're trying to do things quickly for a video. So we have a junk notebook. We have a flashcard that is just kind of cool. You could brush up on your division there. And this is the privacy envelope that we took apart. And then took the windows out, and then cut the windows for our map And those became these little pockets, which I think are amazing. I just think this is really cool. So that is my mini challenge in the challenge embellishment envelope, I guess it would be called, because we used a privacy envelope and we embellished it. And we embellished it. I mean, we embellished it. But when you're putting, okay, so this is 4 very embellished pages. So if I put this in a journal that has more plain pages, like the journal that I have, doesn't have a lot of embellishment in it yet. It has the mini challenge and the challenge number 5 from February. I did put that in here. And then now we'll have this embellished pages. And we can put that in the midst of not so embellished pages. And there you go. And it's like a little surprise when you're going through the journal. You go, oh, pretty. And this actually goes on the other part. But you can see I did a double check there because I think they're amazing. So this was with a larger envelope. There we go. It's in there next to some plain pages. But that little surprise is pretty awesome. We come over here, and again, we're in some plain pages, and we have our little embellishment. And so if you have a little thing to say or a quote, you can put that on there. Something a little bigger, you can put it on there. Something a little bigger, you can add it here, or you can add a list. I love guest checks for lists. So I can't wait to see what you do with your mini challenge in the challenge number 1 for March. Let's see those. Start putting them. When you finish, you put your picture in the post that says mini challenge in the challenge number 1. Deadline is March 13th and 2020. Check out the video links right up here. That'll give you the details video for March, as well as something else that you might like to watch. Find something to celebrate every day. Don't forget to subscribe. Have an amazing day. Bye. Bye-bye.